Hello, my name is Justin Sharp,
And my name is Tasia Sharp.
and we are part of the Mountain Ranch 4-H Club, and today we are going to lead the national anthem. Feel free to join us if you would like. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
As a true 4-H'er, I pledge my head to clear thinking, my heart to better loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world.
And thank you, Peter. These outstanding young people are what this event is all about, and we're certainly honored to have them on our stage today. Now, I believe we're going to start the presentation of cars. I think they're lining up over on the side. They'll come up and get their award. And I certainly want to thank all the judges who worked very hard judging. That was a lot of work. Thank you for to the docents from Black Hawk Museum who worked very hard too. I understand they had some really great tours. So that's wonderful to get people to have more understanding of what these cars are all about. And with that, I think that we're probably ready to start. Chris? Whoops, we're not ready to start. We had a speech tournament that was going on while we were looking at the cars. It was an impromptu speech contest, and we would like to present the award winners. Would they come up here, please?
All right, first prize in the Class A American and European through 1924, Everett and Wanda Rankins from Tracy, California, a 1912 International Harvester Motor Wagon. Commonly known as a high wheeler, it served to carry both passengers and goods. Chain drive. Beautiful car. Mr. Rankins has done a great deal of work on this car himself. He's an expert on the International Motor Wagon. All right, I see more cars coming. We'll keep this process rolling. Again, September 27th, the fourth Saturday in 2014. Paseo, California, with a 1939 Ford Deluxe two-door sedan. Absolutely beautiful restoration. Ford was dominating the market at this point with a V8. Beautiful job.
Turn on the other side. Not in front of Gail.
All right, in our American and European Classics category, first prize to Paul Petrovich of Sacramento, California, 1936 Auburn 852 Supercharged Speedster. One of the most beautiful designs built in the 1930s, executed by Gordon Buring, built by the Auburn Automobile Company, which was part of the Elkhorn Empire. And this is a beautifully restored example and a very special late 1936 Supercharged Speedster. Paul Petrovich from Sacramento, California. American and European classic cars, closed body type. First prize to Sue and Butch Marchione from Gardnerville, Nevada, a 1930 Marmon Big 8 7-passenger sedan. Spectacular car. Marmon was a car that was famed for building racing cars early on in their history, and they applied advanced technology all the way through their production. Beautiful example. It's a model that was built 2 years only and is very, very hard to find today. Sue and Butch Marchione from Gardnerville, Nevada. In our next category, Pierce Arrow Automobiles. First prize, George T. Bay from Oakland, California, with a 1930 Pierce Arrow Model B Roadster. Pierce Arrow started out as the George and Pierce Company building bicycles. There's a Pierce Arrow bicycle over here to my left. And they went on to develop automobiles, and they built a very fast one and decided to call it a Pierce Arrow, and that name stuck. They built cars through 1938. Next category, Packard Automobiles. Rod and Sharon Smith from Washoe Valley, Nevada, a 1937 Packard 120 convertible coupe. Packard brought out the Model 120 in 1935 in order to broaden their offerings to survive the Depression, and it was a very successful, very well-received car. This is a 1937 example, a convertible coupe with rumble seat. I think one has a horn. What was that one? And wooden body automobiles. First prize, Jim and Jean Boyden from San Jose, California, a 1932 Ford Model B station wagon. No roll-up windows, just snap-in side curtains. People use these as utility vehicles. Now they're incredibly sought after as collector's items. And next, we had a very wonderful class of boardward automobiles. Our first prize goes to Klaus and Helga Tietze from Coquitlam, BC, Canada. They drove the car all the way here. One of 13 boardwards that we had on the field today, probably the largest assemblage we've seen in California. Beautiful car. We were pleased to see we had one boardward driven from Minnesota, so obviously boardwards are driving cars. Beautiful car from Canada. Next category is unrestored vehicles built prior to World War II. Warren Martin of Redwood City, California, with a 1926 Franklin Model 11A Tourer. This car is completely unrestored. It's original. Mechanically it's been cared for, and it is a driven car. Mr. Martin just drove this car from eastern Pennsylvania to San Francisco on a classic car club tour, averaging about 42 miles an hour clear across the United States. No side curtains, just a tonneau cover and a great big coat. Unrestored vehicles post-World War II. Bill and Vicki Watkins from Fair Oaks, a 1963 Chrysler Imperial LeBaron Southampton four-door hardtop. This is the era when they made them large. Beautiful car, beautifully kept. Top of the line offering from Chrysler Corporation.
Thank you very much.
And for a bit of a change of pace, from our micro and mini car class, Lynn and Jan James from Tracy, California, with a 1931 American Austin Type 142 Hayes Roadster. These cars had great popularity in the early 1930s, and the James are great exponents of the mark, and we appreciate them bringing this very attractive little roadster. You may have seen them in Laurel and Hardy movies and other comedies of the 1930s. They often showed up in the movies. American Automobiles, 1946 to 1954. Larry and Jason Rodkey from Elk Grove, a 1953 Kaiser Dragon four-door sedan. This was the top-of-the-line offering from Kaiser, which was part of Henry J. Kaiser's industrial empire. This car has a lot of gold trim inside, special alligator-style upholstery, and its price new was nearly that of a Cadillac. Beautiful car, very low production, very rare car to find today. American Automobiles, 1955 to 1961. Richard and Carolyn Gray from Carmel Valley, California, with a 1956 Continental Mark II Coupe. This was an offering of the Ford Motor Company. They set up a separate division. It's not a Lincoln Continental, it's simply a Continental. And it was designed to be the ultimate luxury offering. It was called the Mark II as a successor to the very successful Mark I Continentals, or the original series Continentals, built immediately before and after the Second World War. Sold new for in excess of $10,000 in 1956. Beautiful car. Again, a change of pace. Chevrolet Corvette. Tammy Ham from San Andreas, California, with a 1963 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. So named for the tapered tail on the rear of the car. Beautiful example. Corvettes have a huge following, of course still built today, first introduced in 1953. Fiberglass body, built for performance. Tammy Ham from San Andreas, California. American Automobiles, 1962 to 1972. Bill and Juanita Tempone from San Carlos, California, a 1968 Dodge Charger hardtop. Chrysler Corporation, one of many offerings in the muscle car field of that era, and it's a beautiful example. Very high performance, beautiful styling. Dodge Charger from 1968. Another change of pace. Chevrolet's answer to the compact car. The Chevrolet Corvair. Howard and Bonnie Joseph from Sutter Creek, California, with a 1964 Chevrolet Corvair Spider Coupe. It's an air-cooled rear engine. Beautiful car, not without its controversy when it was introduced. A lot of people didn't understand rear engine cars. Ralph Nader took it to task, but they're a very popular collector car and they have a great following. We had a beautiful gathering of Corvairs here today. Moving to Ford and Mercury muscle cars, Perry Smith from Granite Bay, California with a 1967 Shelby GT500 Fastback. Of course, this car carries the famous Shelby name. Carroll Shelby was probably one of the most recognizable names in performance cars in the United States, and this is a beautiful example. With a Cobra on the front.
Perfect, thank you.
Moving to European Sports and Grand Touring. First prize, Don and Betty Nestor from Sonora, California, with a 1970 Lotus Elan S4 convertible. Famous British marque, known for performance. Beautiful example. Don and Betty Nestor from Sonora. Low production, high quality British sports car. Next in our Jaguar class, a big class today, beautiful class. First prize, Winnie Ward from Grass Valley, California, 1962 Jaguar E-Type Roadster. One of the most beautiful and advanced sports car designs that came out in the 1960s. Timeless, still extremely sought after by collectors, and this is a beautiful example of the early series of the E-Type Roadster. A design that looks fast standing still. Moving on to MG automobiles. First prize, Carl Kraus from Arnold, California with a 1953 MG TD Roadster. MG entered the American sports car market just after the Second World War and had great success. Looking at the style of this car, it's not hard to understand that. It's a beautiful example. MG TD. Moving next to Porsche automobiles. Paul and Jackie Mayhews from Somerset, California, first prize for their 1962 Porsche Cabriolet. Rear engine, very successful sports car line. Porsche is still a major marketer in performance cars, and they truly built their reputation on the cars of the era of this car you're looking at. Beautiful example. Next is our Morgan class. First prize, Susan Loche from Danville, California with a 1968 Morgan +4 Roadster. Very rare car. Very low production car. Morgans were a high quality sports car, imported into the United States in varying numbers. Well, I'm out of my kilter, thank you. All right, our Triumph class. Very rare car. James and Joanna Rogers of Livermore. A 1949 Triumph 2000 Roadster. An early large series Triumph. Beautiful car. A rumble seat which folds out and has its own windshield. Very rare car. Triumph. Now, getting back in order. Once again, Susan Loche from Danville, California with a 1968 Morgan +4 Roadster. I'm told 68 was a very low import production year. Very rare car, beautiful example. Morgan is still built, still imported, much similar styling, and has a very loyal following. Very high quality British sports car. Next, in our Ford Model A category, Victoria and Bob Miller from Ripon, California, a 1931 Ford Model A Victoria. Beautiful, elegant coupe. Ford truly moved ahead from the era of the Model T, and the Model A was an incredibly stylish, small car, very high quality vehicle, tremendous survival rate, really loyal following. They're wonderful cars to own and drive. This is a beautiful example. The Victoria was only built very late in the production of Model A, and is one of the most handsome body types. Ford Thunderbird, first prize to Elo and Ron Rodriguez from Valley Springs with a 1956 Ford Thunderbird, two-passenger Thunderbird, the original Thunderbird. Always identifiable by the porthole in the roof and the spare tire on the rear. Beautiful example, built from 1955 to 1957 only. Vintage commercial, these are always fun. Mike and Berta French from Oakdale, a 1929 Graham Brothers Model BE stake bed truck. Beautiful restoration. Lovely sign on the side that it was sold by P.E. Van Pelt, or used by P.E. Van Pelt, who was the authorized distributor for Graham Brothers trucks, pardon me. And in our motorcycle category, George and Linda Canavan from Sparks, Nevada with a 1968 BMW R69 US motorcycle. Beautiful restoration, beautiful job. And if he can carry the hardware, he gets an extra prize. If Ann Veneman is in the crowd, could she come to the stage, please? Automobile class, Dave Tomaso automobiles. Very, very exciting, high quality cars. We had a wonderful display. First prize, Bud and Jan Millard from Millbrae, California, with a 1972 Dave Tomaso Pantera. Rear engine V8 power. They go as fast as they look. Next, we're going to present an award to the owners, not the trailer, but in our beautiful vintage trailer category, I'd like to have Kathy and Wayne Ferguson from Lakeport come up and get a prize for their 1955 Aljo trailer. It was one of the beautiful trailers in the display on the back of the amphitheater here, and I know you've all enjoyed seeing those trailers, and we enjoy having them. You know, I think those people have figured out how to come to this event and have a good time. They don't worry about hotel rooms, they don't do anything, they just come and they bring their house with them. We're going to start some very special awards now, and our first car is possibly a tiny bit temperamental, but we're going to ask it to come up now, and if it is ready, we are ready for it. This one you really want to pull your toes in, because it's a car that wasn't built to go slowly. When you see this vehicle, you'll know why we're willing to wait for it. I think it started. You know, we probably won't be able to hear when it comes up here. This is a 1913 Cotton and Degout race car with some French origin, and it's powered by an Italian Isotta Fraschini marine engine. And it is a big brute. And this car will receive the Ironstone Sponsors Award, an award that the committee presents to honor our many sponsors who help us to produce this event. And here it comes. It's not going to stay long because it's meant to go and not really to sit around. Tom and Dottie Batchelor from Reno, Nevada. Great enthusiasts, beautiful car. It's just fun to listen to it and even more fun to look at.
Down in front. Okay, are you going to be shooting from there? Am I out of your way?
Again, and I'm probably murdering the pronunciation, but a 1913 Cotton et Degout race car. Isotta Fraschini power. Get a little photography while the motor's turned off.
Watch it, the camera's behind you. They're videoing. They're doing an internet video, please.
Some cars just say fun, and this looks like one of them. And away it goes. Next we have Ed and Karen Archer from Hayward, California, with a 1915 Ford Speedster. Wayne Craig, who has been putting together our race car group, is going to tell you just a bit about this car.
Thank you, Chris. Many of you have seen this car on the field. Last year, this car was here. Ed and Karen drove it up from Hayward and got to Angels Camp and broke a crankshaft, and they came to the show anyway. This year, the car made it to the show, and it's made longer distances all the way to Indianapolis and back. But this year, we are proud to honor Ed and Karen for their contribution to vintage racing by giving them the Memorial Martin Swig Award. Martin was famous for his promotion of vintage sports car racing throughout the country, and Ed and Karen have raced this car consistently since they've run it. So congratulations.
And now they get to drive home to Hayward. There's no rush. Having trouble with the starter button. There we go. Have a safe drive. right, our next award is for the best unrestored vehicle on the field. And we bring back up Mr. Warren Martin, Redwood City, California, with his 1926 Franklin Tourer. I had the pleasure of being on a portion of the tour that this man took when he drove from Pennsylvania to San Francisco. And he would get up about an hour and a half before the rest of us. And we would find him going down the road at his conservative 42 miles an hour, bundled up. We were in Highway 50 in the middle of Nevada in the middle of May. And he just plugged along. The car never skipped a beat. He looked like Man Look at the North driving along in this thing all bundled up. But he made it, and he deserves a big round of credit for that. All right, the Ironstone Foundation Award. This is the most irresistible little car on the field, so it just had to get a special award. Again, it's Lynn and Dan James from Tracy, California, with a 1931 American Austin. Picture Oliver Hardy driving one of these in a movie, and it probably brings back memories if you're an old movie fan. It's a really spectacular example. Sweet panel on the side, reminiscent of some of the big Duesenbergs, and here we find it applied on this really attractive little roadster with a custom body by the Hayes Company. And for the most elegant car on the field, we come a bit later to a 1957 Cadillac Eldorado Brougham. This was literally a hand-built car. Cadillac offered it as a companion to their Eldorado convertibles. Work was done in Italy, the incredible interior handiwork and so forth. Very, very expensive car, probably the most expensive car built in the United States in 1957. This car is totally unrestored. It's just been maintained all its life. It's a spectacular example of what can do with a care for a fine automobile. Kirk Westland and Larry Camuso from San Jose, thank you so much for bringing this beautiful car.
You bet. Horn vents on the front of that, parking back to 35.
And for our most exciting open car award, this is a truly rare car. This is James and Dawn Gately from Sacramento with a 1934 Cadillac V16 Fleetwood convertible sedan. This was the depths of the Depression. Cadillac sold very, very few V16s, and I believe only 4 of this particular example. This is a beautiful car, had history in the DuPont family when new, restored, been a multiple prize winner at Pebble Beach and other places, 154-inch wheelbase. It is the ultimate in open motoring. Beautiful car. Thank you very much. And finally, Best of Show 2013, Paul Petrovich from Sacramento, California with his 1936 Auburn Supercharged Speedster, Model 852. Presented today by Ann Veneman, our former Secretary of Agriculture and our special guest here today. Mr. Petrovich is a very well-known expert in the Auburn Speedster, and he has done just a remarkable job on this car. Very, very late production in the Speedster. They were built only in 1935 and 1936. The Auburn automobile was part of the E.L. Ford empire, which included Duesenberg, Ford, Lycoming engine, a number of other things. He was a remarkable man, and he built some spectacular automobiles, used the design services of Gordon Burig, who was famous for designing this car, as well as the 810, 812 Ford. It's really a spectacular example of speedster and boat-tail styling. Paul Petrovich from Sacramento, thank you so much for bringing the car to Ironstone. And that concludes our awards for today, but let me just add that every car in this field is a winner. We just truly are appreciative of all the entries that come. the variety, small cars, big cars, new cars, old cars, restored cars, preserved cars. They're all fun. We enjoy them all, and we thank you all for coming and supporting our charities. We'll see you on the 27th of September, and I'll hand this back to Gail Couts.
Thank you very much to our wonderful car show chairman, Chris. We certainly appreciate all you've done, and all Wayne Craig did getting those wonderful race cars on the field too. I hope they blasted your eardrums out when they turned on their motors. I think it was a lot of fun. It's been a wonderful day. 4th Saturday of September 2014. That doesn't seem possible, but it is. For the 18th annual concours2013full. We invite you all to come back, and we'll look forward to seeing you. Thank you, and have a safe trip home.